Welcome to another edition of Sean's View Entertainment's podcast, SVE podcast, right here on YouTube.com. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. Now, when I do these podcast videos, I've been receiving a lot of complaints about, the podcast should be longer than 10 or 20 or 30 minutes. The podcast should go an hour, 2-3 hours. Listen, that might happen one day, but my videos are centering around getting the information out there, getting to the point, and not wasting much of your time. Now, a lot of people on here, they can go 30, 40, an hour, 2 hours with their podcast, and that's fine. But here on Sean's View Entertainment, you know what? I don't want to keep things long, all right? There's already long enough videos as it is out there, so I just try to get straight to the point and let my emotions and let my, thinking and my strategy and just the overall, thoughts just get over. So, you know what? Podcasts can range in any length of time for any amount of time, whatever it is. So if it runs 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it is what it is. So, I asked for topics, comments, messages, and, you want me to bring up something. You want me to talk about something. Well, a lot of people want me to talk about the current state of the WWE. Now, I think in all reality, I'm giving this I gave the WWE a equal opportunity, a fair shot from January all the way till December. You're talking 12 months, okay? And if I had to sum up the WWE and give the state of the address of the company, and if I were to, talk to someone on the street and they came up to me and said, "Hey, I was flipping through the channels and I watched Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. I'm a new fan. What would you recommend, or how would you summarize the WWE? What word would you use to sum up the WWE right now? Okay, right now." And what I would tell to that person that's a new fan and doesn't understand it, I would say now is not a good time to watch the WWE. I would say that the WWE is disorganized. I would say that they are in disarray, for a better term. When I come on here and, of course, I give my view, my opinion under fair use of rumors, news, and headlines, and you read that the script for Raw is not written, or it's being written on the fly, or the script isn't written at all, or, the WWE are flipping back and forth. They don't know who to push. They don't know how to push. They don't know what direction to go in. You have Vince McMahon going on the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast after Monday Night Raw on the USA Network, saying that he is not out of touch. But yet there's a lot of yes men in the WWE. There are a lot of people that are scared for their careers. They're walking on eggshells, fearing for their careers as a superstar. They don't want to speak up. They don't want to have that. They don't have that ambition. Vince McMahon says that these superstars don't have that ambition. Well, you know what? The fact of the matter is, you can't say anything stupid. You can't act out. But the bottom line is there's a fine line there, and I don't think the WWE really has a grasp of where that fine line is. And if they do have a grasp of it, every time some other superstar tries to go above and beyond, or sometimes another superstar tries to, get over, the WWE seems to screw it up. They seem to halt the momentum, or creative, they may have a plan in place, but then Vince McMahon will change it, or Triple H will, add his 2 cents. And I'm not saying that Triple H is destroying the business. Triple H is doing a great thing for NXT. Triple H is building up the youth of the company. And you know what? You can listen to CM Punk and you can hear about CM Punk and everything he said about Triple H and Vince and how the company is ass backwards and how they've made a lot of decisions that were detrimental to a lot of careers, especially CM Punk's. But we're not here to talk about that. We're talking about the WWE right now. And CM Punk really wasn't in the WWE this year except for 1 month. So, going on, yes, disorganized. At times, we want the WWE to be unpredictable. Oh, it's unpredictable, but for all the wrong reasons. The WWE, they definitely have a lot of different things to it, and I think most of it really now, if you're asking me what's wrong with the company, is they're putting too much time and effort into the WWE network. Now I understand that they have to do that, and I understand that they have to drill that. Oh, $9.99, subscribe to the network. But the thing about it is they're putting all their money, they're putting all their investment, all their time, all the commitment, all the work ethic. It's going right into that network, and everything else is just going out the door. It's going in one ear and out the other. Now, I don't know who these faceless, nameless people are on the creative team. 20 or 30 people. We've heard Vince Russo. We've heard a number of people that talk wrestling on YouTube.com. 20 or 30 people on the creative team all throwing out their ideas. Most of them, now here's the thing, now there was rumors that most of them on the creative team don't have knowledge of professional wrestling. And I apologize, this podcast is all over the place. But I'm just trying to give you the state of the WWE according to me. This is just how I see it. I've been a long time wrestling fan, okay? And when you go from having 2, 3, 4, let's say even if they had the most was 5 people on the creative team, okay? All right, too many people in the kitchen, too many hands in the cookie jar. You cannot have that many people on a creative team with no knowledge, no basis. But that's what the WWE has become. It's become this, company that has... It's grown so big, and the bottom line is, WWE is probably more of a name than it has ever been. Due to social media, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. WWE it's more over than it was even in the Attitude Era. Sure, the ratings don't ramify. Here's a question. What can the WWE do to bounce back to the ratings that we saw in the Attitude Era? Well, it's not so much what the WWE can do. It's about what other wrestling promotions can do to elicit competition, to make it so the WWE has to force their hand. So it makes the WWE have to stress out and force the issue. Because the WWE is not being forced. They don't have anyone breathing down their back. They don't have anyone breathing down their necks. And that's the thing. That isn't, this isn't serving any good for the WWE. It's not healthy when there's no competition. Or, TNA, that it might go out of business. ROH can't last forever. But yet TNA and ROH are still here in this day and age. Now that's fine. I hope they are here to stay. Hopefully TNA's new deal does them wonders, but I even have my doubts about it. But listen, the bottom line is, you know what? The WWE needs a challenge, and they don't have that challenge right now. They don't have that challenge. They don't have an ECW. They don't have a WCW. They don't have the territory. The WWE is the number one brand in the world, the number one wrestling company. Okay, you can say, oh, well, other matches are better in promotions, and there's better storylines in other promotions, and the Knockouts division is better than the Divas division. It doesn't matter. The WWE is the top dog. The WWE is the number one wrestling promotion in the entire world. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. But it seems like the WWE's focus isn't really on, ratings for Raw and upping the ratings. Oh, well, Vince McMahon, went onto the podcast and said, we're in competition with everybody. We're in competition with every other thing that's on television on Monday nights. Well, how is the WWE going to go to that extra? How are they going to go that extra mile? How is the WWE going to go above and beyond the Call of Duty when, quite frankly, they have to outdo themselves? And they, quite frankly, are not outdoing themselves. Now, maybe they want to save their best stuff for when there is competition. Maybe that's why the WWE is laying low right now, because they understand that, we're building up these guys in NXT. We're going to have a whole new crop of superstars. The roster that we see right now, it's going to look a hell of a lot different 10, 15 years down the line. You're not going to be seeing John Cena. You're not going to be seeing Randy Orton. You're not going to see guys of that caliber. They're going to be done and gone by that time. They're going to be off into the sunset. The WWE needs to focus their energy on not only the significance of the product and what they bring, but the fact that the creative team needs to be in touch. The creative team really needs to listen to the fans. Vince McMahon, once again, on Stone Cold's podcast, said that they listen to the fans. And how can we give our ideas? Well, right on the WWE's website or their corporate website, it says, do not send in any ideas. Do not send in any tapes. Don't send any DVDs. Don't send any emails about any ideas or storylines that you may have. I think it is time that the WWE starts listening to some of the fans, because I know there's a lot of people out there that have some ideas that are just as bad as the creative team. And I myself am guilty of thinking, oh, I know better than the creative team. Listen, I know being on the creative team is stressful. I know it's tough. I know it's harsh. But when you hear that they're not putting the effort, when you hear that they're not putting the time into the product and they're writing, Raw is being written or the script is being changed as Raw is on the air, that is not something you want to hear. That's something like WCW days when it was going out of business, when WCW was in its blackest days. And now the WWE, I wouldn't say it's in its blackest days, but going back to what I digress. How can WWE raise its ratings? A lot of people say, well, the WWE lost a lot of its ratings because of John Cena. How can you realistically say it's John Cena's fault? How about you take into account there's no more Austin, there's no more Rock, There's no more Mick Foley. There's no more The Undertaker and Kane. There's no more attitude. There's no more compelling stories. There's no more of letting a superstar go out there and be an extension of their real human beings. It's too scripted. It's too, well, I hate to say this word, but it's too fake. It is. It's just too fake. Now, I'm not saying that the superstars going in that ring, it hurts, okay? Your body goes through an extraordinary amount of damage and punishment. It's harsh. Just ask CM Punk, right? But what's hurting the WWE is they're hurting themselves, okay? WWE has no one else to blame but themselves. Why do you think the WWE Network has not got their subscriber base yet? Why do you not think they have? Why have they not reached that 1 million subscriber amount? Had this been the Attitude Era, everyone says, oh, they would have reached that 1 million subscriber amount. Yes, because wrestling was popular and it was in a different time, it was a different era. WWE was in a different state at that time. And once again, there was competition. But I don't even know if then the WWE Network, if it would have been around in the Attitude Era, would have reached a 1 million subscribers that quickly, and I'll tell you why. Because they didn't have WCW, they didn't have the ownership of WCW, they didn't have the extensive library for ECW, and whatever other content that they may have on there. Now the WWE Network is loaded. There is no reason not to get the WWE Network for $9.99. The fact that it was free in November, I never ever heard of something like that before, but, I digress. The bottom line is, there's a lot of different things that the WWE are losing ratings. There's a lot of different reasons, and we could come on here, like I said, I could be on here for an hour and 2 hours, and we could debate, and we could go back and forth. But at the end of the day, it comes down to what the fans want. And the fans know, the WWE knows what the fans want, but yet they fail to give it to us. How many times have we wanted Cesaro to get pushed? Oh, but Vince McMahon claims that Cesaro doesn't have that it factor. Although Cesaro had that major push after WrestleMania, and then all of a sudden, lo and behold, what happens? Cesaro gets paired with Paul Heyman, and then Zeb Coulter. They don't know what direction, and then all of a sudden he loses all this momentum. He loses all this steam. So I don't understand the WWE's logic about saying Cesaro doesn't have it, and that ambition and that passion. Like I said, there's a lot of superstars who fear for their careers, and they should, because look at the politics that could play into it. The WWE has their favorites, okay? And, when you look at it, like I said, it's not all John Cena's fault that the WWE has lost ratings, okay? Like I said, when you don't have over-the-top superstars, when you don't have the dynamic personalities, the profanity, and, blood doesn't have to be a staple on WWE television, but to add some color in there sometime is a good thing, because it would add to the overall performance, and it would add to the program, in my opinion. Less is more. Back in the day, let's go back to when Ricky the Dragon Steamboat got taken out by Macho Man Randy Savage, a throat injury, okay? Something simple like that. That set Steamboat back for months. What happens when someone got hit in the head with a steel chair or got DDT'd on a steel chair? Or how about when Jake the Snake Roberts DDT'd Steamboat on the concrete floor one night in Providence, Rhode Island, Saturday night's main event? Remember that? That put out Steamboat for months and months. Nowadays, I understand the WWE can't have a superstar be out for months and months because the talent pool is low. Which again, the talent pool is low because there's a lot of injuries, there's a lot of suspensions. There's a lot of people being fired. There's a lot of people that are on the outs with the company. There are a lot of things that the WWE is changing last minute. Like I said, it's disarray and it's disorganized. That's what it all boils down to. And, everyone's been saying for the last several years, John Cena is the main guy. How much more can they run John Cena into the dirt? They're running John Cena. They're pushing him. They're shoving him down our throats. The bottom line is, as soon as the WWE started pushing John Cena, what did the fans do? They started bitching. They started complaining, moaning. And now Roman Reigns is seemingly going to be pushed. And you know what? Guy hasn't even been pushed yet, and there's not even given a chance. Not even given an opportunity. The fans shit all over you before you can get your start or break through that glass ceiling. But when you want to see a superstar like Cesaro or a Tyson Kidd succeed, well then, we push for it. We thrive for it. We do everything in our power to voice our opinions. But yet the WWE goes in a different direction. And the WWE has to go with who draws and what works. And, who draws and what works is still, in 2014, John Cena. Now, Daniel Bryan, take that guy, for instance. If he didn't go down with that horrible neck injury, Okay, we don't know if Daniel Bryan will ever be able to compete again, and if he is able to compete, he will never be at the level he once was, okay? We're going to get a very watered-down version of Daniel Bryan. Like I said, if someone were to come up to me and say, would you recommend to watch the WWE? How would you sum up the WWE? And that's how I would sum it up now. It's in disarray, it's disorganized, there's too many people in the cookie jar, the creative team doesn't know what's going on. Vince McMahon, I mean, as hard as he works and as much as he's balls to the wall, I don't know how true of sentiments he gave on that Stone Cold podcast. It seemed like Vince McMahon was just kind of rolling with the times. It was almost as if Vince McMahon, he didn't want to give the truth. And you heard Vince McMahon doing that deep breath. He kept doing that during the podcast, if you heard it. And that's kind of things I pick up on. And Vince McMahon knew Stone Cold was going to throw the tough questions out, and Stone Cold wasn't going to be, BSing or beating around the bush. And Vince McMahon did answer them, but did he answer those questions to the fullest, and did he answer them with the utmost truthful respect and honesty? I don't know about that, but this is the state of the WWE. 2 words: disorganized, maybe even dishonest. I don't know. Maybe that's another word you can throw in there. The WWE really needs to go back and, they need to check themselves. They need to take a few steps back before going a few steps forward. And, will we ever see another boom in WWE or in pro wrestling in general? I don't know about that until there's competition. When there is competition, that is when you try to thrive and survive. And that is when you always have to, improve yourself. And that's the thing. The WWE is not improving. Okay, Survivor Series was an awesome, spectacular show. Well put together, well planned, well thought out. We get to Monday Night Raw the next 2 weeks, and once again, the WWE is just grasping at straws, and they're just trying to throw out content just for the hell of 3 hours. 3-hour Raws. It's another problem. Like I said, there's a lot of problems in WWE nowadays. There's a lot of things that need to be addressed. The WWE needs to go back and go with what brought them to the dance. And I'm not saying TV 14 is the answer either. TV 14 is just a small part of what could make WWE better in the future. Your comments, your opinions, maybe I'll go more into this on a later podcast. But for now, subscribe.